Hare Gange Mahadev Sri Shankara Parvati Pati Mahadev Sri Shankara.
Namaste, it's Sahara Rose, and welcome back to the Highest Self podcast, a place where we discuss what makes you your soul's highest evolvement. If it is your first time here, welcome. I am so grateful to have you here on the soul journey, incarnating at the same moment in human history together. It is a pleasure to be here with you. And if you're here all the time, what's up? How are you doing? I know we have been having lots of breakthroughs this quarantine season, lots of shadow work, and also finding lots of joy and realizing how much more control over we have in our state, that we don't really need to be outside around people doing things in order to be happy. It really is an internal state within. So it has been a beautiful journey, and I'm also excited for the time that we get to all unite again at a Rose Gold Goddess party or an event. And I have my Discover Your Dharma book coming out this January. So a huge topic that I love to speak about is Dharma, your soul's purpose, the big reason why you are here, your sacred mission on this planet. And it's different than your purpose, as in your career, as in your job. But it is actually the unique soul expression that only your soul can emit. So your dharma may be to create beauty on this world. And that might be through doing hair or creating art or doing interior design. There's so many different expressions that it could look like, but the dharma is the same. It's to create beauty. Or, your dharma could be to raise consciousness or to modernize spirituality. That's very much in line with my dharma, but we may be doing it in different ways. So all of us have a reason why we are here. We are each born with unique doshas, unique Ayurvedic mind-body types, which are, to me, the breadcrumbs that lead us to our dharma. And I really dive into this in my upcoming book, Discover Your Dharma, which will be out this January. Super excited for that, and also know that's a little ways away. So I actually just did this live stream on the Chopra Center Instagram. As you guys know, I was supposed to be doing a retreat with Deepak Chopra. We were supposed to be leaving in about a week from now in Mexico, the 7 Spiritual Laws of Success retreat. And I was so excited and honored to be facilitating a retreat with Deepak Chopra, and also knowing that we made the right decision to keep people safe and to cancel right now. And it is going to be postponed until next February. So there still is opportunity for those of you who maybe had not heard about the retreat and want to sign up to join us in February. But I decided to do an Instagram Live with Chopra Center to teach a little bit about my methodology of finding your dharma and how it is related to your doshas. And I had the recording, so I decided to throw it up here on the podcast so you guys can experience it as well. So this is a live stream. I did this on day 19 of my quarantine. I'm on day 60 something right now. So you'll hear me say that. But I speak about the 3 different Ayurvedic doshas, Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. And I kind of dive into them. So if it's your first time hearing about Ayurveda, the doshas, I highly recommend you go to my website, iamsahararose.com. The link is in the show notes. And I have a dosha quiz that you could take. It's a 90-second quiz. And from taking that quiz, you will understand your dosha, your mind-body type. Vata is the air energy. So it's creative, it's visionary, it thinks outside the box, it's artistic, it's always moving, it's always changing. Pitta is the fire energy. It is directional. It is a leader. Is it an entrepreneur? It is a creator. It has a goal, and it will do whatever it takes to get that goal done. And Kapha is earthy, it is peaceful, it is grounded, it is calm, it loves to hold space for people, just like the earth holds space for us. So by knowing your dosha, not only will you know about your nutrition and the right kind of yoga for you and meditation and all of that, and my book, Idiot's Guide to Ayurveda, really dives deep into everything about Ayurveda, from self-care to nutrition to spirituality and everything else. But what I'm super passionate about teaching is how it's related to your life's purpose. And that is something that I had never seen really being taught before. And that was really coming through in my own journey of finding my purpose and being so confused and having so many different ideas and not knowing if I should, be a jewelry designer, start a skincare line or this or that, and realizing that it was all my Vata creativity, but showing up in different ways. So understanding my dosha really helps me find my dharma. And I'm super excited to be sharing this Instagram live I did with Chopra Center with you. So again, if you're a little bit confused about the doshas, head over to my website, iamsahararose.com. When you take the quiz, there are customized videos according to your results in your mind and in your body. Again, Vata is that air energy, Pitta is fire, Kapha is earth, and they're going to show up in different ways for different people. So when I speak about the doshas in relationship to your dharma, I'm speaking about the dosha in your mind, the one that correlates with your personality. And oftentimes, if you look at how you were when you were a child, you can see how you naturally exhibited your strengths before anyone told you that this is monetizable or this is acceptable or this is approved or whatever else. So were you that kid that was just creating, making art projects, making music, making imaginary friends? Were you that kid that was running outside, getting messy, getting in the dirt, creating teams, playing dodgeball? Or were you that kid who was playing house and taking care of things and taking care of the other people and making sure no one's feelings were hurt? Well, right there, that is Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. So I have so much content related to this. I have other episodes. If you just Google Highest Self Podcast Dharma, you will find dozens of episodes I've done on the topic of Dharma. And of course, my book, Discover Your Dharma, is coming out in January, which is going to be a game changer. So this is a little snippet on what I've been brewing up. And again, it was done on an IG live, so that is why I'm flowing a bit in this, but I really wanted you guys to hear because I know so many of you are finding your dharmas right now. And in this time of quarantine, it really is the time of deep reflection of who do I want to be when this quarantine is over? Do I want to reemerge as? And that's really what we're working with Rose Gold Goddesses this month. The goddess we are working with in my membership community is all about reemergence and who do I want to step out of this as? You know, we're all kind of on summer vacation, right? We remember summer vacation when we were kids. You would come back from vacation as a different person. Maybe you dressed in a different way. You had different mannerisms, different identity even. So this is really our time to think like, who do I want to be when I get out of this quarantine? We don't want to go back to the way we were. We want to upgrade, up-level, refine, and be truer to ourselves than ever before. And the only way we can do this is if we talk about the elephant in the room, which is why you are here. So, you know, we can talk about meditation, and we can talk about ways to eradicate stress and eradicate anxiety, and all of these things are very important. But if we don't ask ourselves why we are here, then we're never going to get to the root of this existential crisis. You know, it only really dissolves when you have true purpose and true meaning. And as I speak about in my book, Discover Your Dharma, that happiness is not the point of life, but purpose is. And happiness is really a byproduct of purpose, because when you are living your life on purpose, happiness is just the natural result. So with that, let's welcome me to the Highest Self podcast. And before we get started, I have an announcement for you. Are you craving a deeper experience to sit in ceremony with your sacred sisters, liberate yourself from the expectation of others, regain touch with your divine feminine essence, and finally understand the truth of who you are? Then I invite you to join my goddess Kali Ma circle. We are in the midst of the greatest awakening in humanity, and Kali Ma is the primordial goddess who has the power to destroy the world, returning us into the dark void, the sacred womb, the space of limitless potential, so we can be radically reborn. A lot of us are in the beginning of new shifts right now, and Kali Ma is the goddess to tap into at this pivotal time to sweep away any limiting beliefs, stagnant energy, or timelines that do not serve you, so you can truly make 2020 the decade of your 2020 vision. You see, we must clear away the old to make space for the new. And this is exactly what my Kali Ma Goddess Circle will provide you with. So I have taken my 2-hour workshop, which includes my womb meditation, drumming, teaching you all about Kali Ma, her message, working with her archetype, my shamanic shaking ritual, EFT, emotional freedom technique, tapping for more freedom, bliss and radiance in your life. I then guide you through journal prompts to apply into your life for more personal expression, transformation, and bliss. We also end with affirmations, poetry, and a Q&A to dive deeper into this significant time and how to work with Kali Ma to allow us to elevate into the embodied, radiant goddess that we were born to be. So if you've been wanting to join Rose Gold Goddesses and desire a taste with just one workshop, this is your time to join us. So head over to my show notes. You can find it on your phone by just looking at this podcast, and you'll be able to see the link to guide you exactly to receive the Kali Ma workshop. And I'm so excited to see you inside. Hello, namaste, everyone. My name is Sahara Rose. I am so excited to have you here on the Chopra Center Instagram, bringing you just some insights, some inspiration, some support right now in this difficult time that we're experiencing. So I am on day 18 of my, I don't like to call it a quarantine, I like to call it a self-retreat right now that I am on. So I am on day 18 of my retreat. And I really wanted to take this time right now to speak about the significance of this moment that we are in and why it is the best time to find your Dharma, your truest self, your divine purpose, your big why, your reason for being incarnated here on this planet. So the first real significance of this moment is that we are all as a collective experiencing the same thing at the same time, which has never happened in human history before. So no matter where you are in the world right now, you are experiencing this sense of a little bit of fear and a little bit of uncertainty and a little bit of maybe anxiety. And though it's not the exact emotions that we want to be in and stay in, what it's doing is it's all putting us into one boat. And for the first time, we're able to see that the person in Costa Rica and the person in Cambodia is feeling the same thing. So it really gives us an innate sense of oneness. You know, we've been speaking about oneness, especially in spirituality, for so many years, but this opportunity is tapping us into oneness. You know, before you would have to do a lot of work to get into your shadows. You would have to hold your arms out for 30 minutes in a Kundalini Kriya, or go on a plant medicine journey, or do something to bring out the shadows. And right now, the shadows are just being revealed right in front of us. So in the past week or two, you've probably experienced some of your deepest, darkest fears arising. So these are called our shadows. The reason why they are called our shadows is because it is the aspect of us that we hold underneath our brightness, our light. It's our shadow side. It's the side of ourselves that we don't like to reveal to the world. So our shadow aspects are being revealed to us right now for the purpose of transmuting them into life. So our deepest, darkest fears that we've experienced before, maybe it is fear of death or fear of loneliness or fear of not finding your purpose, is really coming to surface right now for you to really look at it eye to eye and see, okay, this fear has actually been there underneath it all this whole time. This isn't the first time that I've actually felt this way, but it's the first time that I now have no choice to look at it. So we're sort of on this like mandatory Vipassana right now as a world, as a planet. A Vipassana is, the Buddhist silent retreat, which, most of us are not silent right now, but we are in our homes. Our homes are our root chakras. Our homes are our wombs. Our homes are our relationship with our bodies, our relationship to earth. So really what we're going back to right now is a deep sense of grounding. Who am I at my core? Who am I at my most fundamental level? And what are my relationships there? What is my relationship with the person that I am living with, that I am now quarantining with? What is my relationship to my home space? What have I been escaping from this whole time? So really this opportunity right now is allowing us to be the person that we've been too busy to be. That person that we've always been on the go to escape from. Who is that underneath it all? And this is really the time for us to look at the gifts that we were born with and see, how can I use them right now to up-level the vibration of the whole entire planet? So all of us are born with divine gifts. These gifts are our purpose, our dharma, our big why, the reason why we are here. So some of us were born with, a beautiful sense of design, and other people are really good at listening, and other people are really good at creating experiences for other people, or they have a green thumb, etc. So right now, this is your call to really look inwards. What are the things that I'm naturally good at? What are the things that come easily to me that may not for other people? So I'm going to ask you some questions right now to help you understand what that underlying purpose is for you. So I'd love to ask you, first of all, if you had a full afternoon to Google search anything it is that you wanted to Google, it couldn't be related to, work or does my kid have this rash? Nothing like that. Just purely something that you are interested in. What would you spend your afternoon Googling? Would you be looking up holistic remedies? Would you be looking up interior design? Would you be interested in painting, someone said? Or poetry? Futuristic theories? Digestion? So this right now, I always say Google is like a reflective glass of who we are. It's that magnifying glass of who we are, because we are able to access anything. Limitless potential, as Deepak always says, is available for us on the internet. So when we're able to see, what would I spend my time Googling? We're able to see, though I have endless opportunities and possibilities, I would choose this right now. So that's the seed that's inside of you. I know some of you are saying cooking, spreading love, children illustration. Yes. So that is that seed that has been planted inside of you. So that seed is inside of you. It's there, but we've been too busy as a collective to water that seed, to let it germinate, to let it sprout to life. So that thing right there, your curiosity, is leading you towards Dharma. I am not saying that that is your end all be all, but what I am saying is when you begin to follow something that you are deeply interested in, you begin to walk through the path, and then suddenly it starts to illuminate itself for you. So one thing will bring you to the next, will bring you to the next, and this motion is called Kriya, divine flow. It's that feeling of knowing that the universe is taking you exactly where you are meant to go. So now that you have that thing that you want to Google, I want to ask you another question. If you were to go on a family holiday, let's say we're allowed to travel, when we are on a family holiday, who are we on that vacation? Are we that person who is setting up the schedule and the itinerary? Okay, at 8 a.m., we're going to go visit these ruins. And then at 9, we're going to go to this restaurant because I've got good reviews on Yelp. And then at 12, are you that person? Super scheduled and organized? You want to do all the things? You want to make the most of your vacation? Are you the person who's like, I just want to get lost in the markets and see what happens and just explore, and I don't want any agenda at all? Or are you that person that's like, I just want to relax. I just want to take it easy. I want to hang out by the pool. I don't really care about seeing all the ruins and artifacts. I just want to chill. So that first person, that type A person, is Pitta. It's that energy of Pitta, that energy of fire. So that energy of fire really wants to, make the most of our day. When you're someone who's very Pitta, which is an Ayurvedic dosha, you have a very strong relationship with time. So you're seeing that time is of the essence, so I want to make the most of things. So you are naturally good at creating plans, creating schedules, creating routines. This is part of your Dharma. You were born with that gift because you were meant to share it. So that's that Pitta person. If you were that person who wanted to explore and get lost and see what happens and just like find yourself in the pathways and, maybe you'll end up with the locals, who knows? That's Vata. That's the energy of air. So that energy of air is very creative and flowing and visionary and thinking outside the box. So this is related to your Dharma. You are someone who is meant to almost be a channel for higher visions. You are meant to have a lot of space in your schedule. You are meant to be able to just create something that has never existed before. And if you are too confined into a schedule or limitations, it's going to be too overwhelming for you. You're actually going to stump your creativity. So an opportunity like this, being on our mandatory Vipassana is a perfect one for you to be like, what really excites me right now? I have a lot of Vata, and I've been doing these acrylic painting pours. This is one I did last night, of just letting the paints move and seeing how they're meant to end up. So practices like this are really good for bringing your Vata back up. So if you were that third person, that person who wants to chill, you want to take it easy, you want to just like eat good food and enjoy your company and spend time with your family, and it's not so much about the place, but it's more about the relationships and the feelings, then you are a Kapha, or at least in relationship with your Dharma. So a Kapha is the Ayurvedic earth energy. So you are someone who likes to more chill and take it easy, and you care deeply about your relationships, your connections with other people. And right now, you're probably feeling the weight of the world on your shoulders because you are someone who's very open and picking up on other people's energy. So this is related to your Dharma. You are meant to be that space holder. You are meant to really go deep with one person and understand who they are at a fundamental level. You'd be an incredible coach, healer, therapist, anything that's really connecting deeply with people. So our doshas, our Ayurvedic doshas, mind-body types, are, to me, the ultimate lens of looking into our Dharma, into our purpose, because they don't just exist in one area of our lives, they exist everywhere. So I just gave the example of how you are on a vacation, but how are you in your quarantine right now even? Are you that person in your quarantine that's like creating a schedule for yourself and creating a routine and like, okay, at 9 a.m. I'm going to do this workout and then I'm going to hop onto this live, and, trying to create as much structure and routine for yourself as possible, even in this time, because you'll go crazy without it? Then you're a Pitta. That is who you are. You are meant to be an entrepreneur or CEO or a fitness specialist or something that really has structure, that has goals, something that you are going for and you can tangibly get there. That's going to help you feel more safe and secure and structured in your everyday life. So we could look, someone who's very Pitta in our society is Tony Robbins. So Tony Robbins is fiery and he's strong and he's passionate, and we love him so much because he can get the crowd growing and clap your hands and stomp your feet, and he gets everyone riled up, and that's that fire within him, the Pitta within him that we're all picking up on. So a lot of us have that within ourselves, and this quarantine is giving us the opportunity to realize that within ourselves. So I'm seeing a lot of you are saying, yes, that's me. So if you are that structured person, if you are that person who's texting your family and friends like, come on, we're going to get through this. What are your goals? What are you working on this week? This is your time to do it. You are that Pitta. You are that firecracker in other people's lives. And this is your chance right now to help people who need it the most. And the doshas can help each other. So for example, someone who's very, very in their Pitta, who's like really finding, okay, here's how we're going to get through this and creating a plan out of everything. Someone who's more in maybe a Kapha slump at this moment of maybe not fully actualizing their Kapha gifts, but more of the shadow side, the slump. They are able to get activated by that Pitta's energy. Okay, so all of the doshas have a shadow side and a light side, and we all are a combination of all three doshas, but in different amounts. So you probably have related to all three in different times of your life, but your main dosha is who you are at your core. In situations like this, I think our true self really comes up because we have no one to impress and nowhere to hide. So who are you in moments like this? Moments of frustration, moments of uncertainty. That's when your primary doshas really come up. So the Pitta within you is going to want to structure and going to want to plan. The Vata within you is going to want to create and flow. And the Kapha within you is going to want to really get deep and connect. Now, how this is related to our Dharma is, how do you want to serve other people? You have all of these doshas within you, but what is the dosha that you really want to serve with and connect with others with? So do you love to help people by firing them up? Then that's your Pitta. 100% being in your Pitta is related to your Dharma, is related to your purpose. Do you like to help people get creative, think, see the world in different ways, explore possibilities, make art, make poetry, really just like kind of go into deep rabbit holes with people? That's your Vata. Then your Vata is related to your Dharma, and you are meant to write books or poetry or create art and be this type of person in other people's lives who's making them think in a more esoteric and airy way. Or do you love to help people by just sitting with them and listening. You know, that energy of Oprah is very Kapha. We love Oprah so much, not because she gives that riveting talk like Tony Robbins, but we love Oprah so much because she's able to sit and listen. So if right now you are the Oprah of your friends who's like, how are you feeling right now? And just like really holding space for people and enjoying it, enjoying that really deep connection. And for you, this is actually a beautiful opportunity for you to go deeper with people that maybe you've been too busy to in the past. Then this is your Kapha. This is that side of you that's coming out to play. And yes, I will save this and I will repost this on my Instagram at I am Sahara Rose. And I'll put it on my podcast too, Highest Self Podcast. My book is called Eat, Feel Fresh, right there, with foreword by Deepak Chopra, which is why I'm here. We'll take a quick break so I can give a shout out to our sponsors. A lot of us don't feel comfortable going to supermarkets right now, and cafes are closed, which means we aren't picking up green juices or even buying fresh produce as often. But right now, it is more important than ever before to keep our immune systems high, especially with greens and superfoods. I've been drinking Organifi Green every single day, and it's been a goddess send. It contains immune-boosting ingredients like moringa, chlorella, spirulina, wheatgrass, ashwagandha, turmeric, lemon, mint, and so much more. It takes only 1 minute to add into my water, and I feel so good knowing that at least I got my greens in for that day, which frankly I may not have had otherwise. I've also sent it to my family members to keep them healthy at this time too. You can receive 20% off your Organifi at Organifi.com using coupon code Sahara. Again, that's Organifi, Organifi.com using coupon code Sahara, and that link is in the show notes. So if you are someone with that more Vata, that creativity. So for example, I just showed you one of my acrylic pours. Here's another one I did last night. Then this is your opportunity right now to be that person for other people. So for example, maybe you want to lead your friends every day. Let's write a poem to each other. Let's just text each other a poem that we love or we write. Or let's draw. Let's draw something and get together and draw. Or maybe this is your opportunity to disconnect from other people and just get really deep into your art and really deep into your divine work. I think right now with this quarantine, there's almost this sense of like needing to be everywhere all the time and everyone's going live, and it can be very overwhelming for people. So really look for what is resonant with me right now. What medicine do I really need at this moment? So maybe if you have always been very, very Pitta in your life, this is your opportunity to explore your other doshas. This is your opportunity to get more Vata, or this is your opportunity to just sit and be more Kapha. If you've been very Vata in your life, maybe you've been flowing and you don't really have a specific goal that you're working on, maybe this is the time for you to set that goal. You know, maybe I'm going to write my screenplay or design, interior design or something like that. This is your opportunity to do that. If you're someone who's very Kapha in your life, maybe you're a therapist or a healer and you've been holding space for a lot of people, maybe this is your time to get a little bit more Pitta and get in your workout practice, or your time to get more into the Vata. So we really need a balance of all three doshas at all times, but our natural dosha, which is called our Prakriti, is always going to come out. So for example, you may have been born primarily Vata, right? So you naturally, as a child, were very creative, artistic, think outside the box. So think about yourself right now as a kid, because as a kid, we were exactly who we were. We didn't feel the need to, impress anyone or do something to make money or anything else. So if you were that kid who was like playing with your imaginary friends and making up scenarios and getting lost in your arts, that's the Vata. If you were that kid who was running around outside and, playing in the mud and always who wants to do dodgeball? Who wants to play this? Who wants to play that? Just super adventurous. That's your Pitta. If you were that kid who was very just calm and loving, let's play house. Let's play animal. Let's play, babysitter. That's the Kapha. And again, maybe you had different stages that were different ones, but who were you primarily as the kid? Were you the adventurous, athletic kid? Were you the artistic kid? Or were you the more, connective child? So this is really going to help you understand what your Prakriti is, your natural born constitution. And if you feel like you have moved so far away from that, for example, maybe as a kid you loved to play sports and go outside and now that's not part of your life at all, then use this moment right now to tap back into that side of you. I'm not saying go outside if it's not safe, of course. But, maybe this is your time right now that at home you're doing different exercise practices or you're, writing your book proposal or something like that that's really like exciting and goal oriented for you. Or maybe right now, again, this is your chance to do something totally different than what you normally do. So I invite you to explore these different doshas, your relationship with these doshas, because as you dip inside your different archetypes, you get a stronger sense of understanding who you are and how your dharma is meant to display all three. So for example, when I was a child, my primary dosha was definitely Vata, very artistic, very imaginatory, etc. But later in my life, I got very sedentary and played computer games all the time, and I got very Kapha. And then later in my life, I got very, very into working out and I got very Pitta. So we've danced with different doshas before, and now I have found a sense of balance in my dharma. So I'm able to use my Vata abilities of speaking, of writing, of creating, of making podcasts, of doing art, dancing. I'm dancing every single day on my Instagram. Right after this, I'll be on my Instagram live dancing. And I'm able to bring that to the world and get it done and create with it through my Pitta. So you channel through your Vata. Imagine your Vata as your crown and your third eye chakra, as well as a bit of your throat. Your throat is when it moves into the Pitta. That Pitta is that energy of creation, of doing, of action. So it's really the energy of the solar plexus, right? It's that fire. In Ayurveda, we call it an Agni, digestive fire. So you envision, you channel through your Vata. What do I want to create? What is my purpose right now? What am I interested in? What am I curious with? And then you take action. You try it. You get your hands in the mud, figuratively. You start to do it. And that's when you feel it through the Pitta. And then you give yourself the gift of the sacred pause. You decide, from this moment of pause, from this moment of stillness, what wants to come through me next? And this moment of stillness, this sacred pause, we could really think of it as our sacral and root chakra energy is Kapha, the energy of earth. So think about where you are in your life right now. Are you in your Vata stage, coming up with a lot of ideas? I think I want to do this. I think I want to do that. I have all these ideas and sometimes I don't even know which one to start. Are you really in that energy of Pitta, of creation, of action, of moving forward, the solar plexus energy, the fire energy? Or are you in that energy of Kapha, of sacred pause, of the pause between the inhale and the exhale? And from there, where can I move to next? So from the Vata, from the idea, we move into the Pitta. We come up with the idea and we take action. From the Pitta, we move into the Kapha. From taking a lot of action, we move into the rest. We move into the pause. We move into the sacred through. And then from that Kapha, we move back into the Vata. From this sense of stillness and pause, have you ever noticed that your best ideas come through, not when you're busy on your laptop doing, but they come through when you start to do the dishes, right? Or when you take a walk, or when you take a bath or a shower. So many people say, I don't know why my best ideas come through in the shower. Well, it's not necessarily the shower, though the shower does introduce you to the element of water, which is prevalent in Kapha as well, which is why washing the dishes, anything with water is going to bring more flow in your life. But really what's happening underneath it all is you're giving yourself that sacred pause. So if you're feeling stumped, take a pause. If you're feeling overwhelmed, take action. If you're feeling you're taking a lot of action, take a pause. So I'd love to teach this cycle of moving your dharma through the doshas, because it really gives you a compass. It really gives you, okay, here's where my energy is at. Here's where I can move it to. And then you're constantly moving. And what you understand is that we're never, in one place. We're cyclical beings. We're always moving. There's rhythms, there's seasons, there's tides, and we are a part of nature. So we too are cyclical beings. And it's important for us to notice that everything in life has its seasons, has its cycles. And the moment that we're in right now is the collective Kapha. We are in the collective pause as a society, as a planet. We have been so deeply in the Pitta before, taking so much action. What's next? Being too busy to be ourselves. So collectively, the earth gave us this gift of Kapha. And a lot of us are resisting it and we're fighting against it and we're still coming through with our Pitta like, no, I was supposed to take action. I was supposed to go over there. I was supposed to do this. I was supposed to do that. And Earth is like, nope, the more you fight against this, the harder it's going to be. We must just come to this place of complete acceptance with what is. There are things that we can control and there are things that we cannot. And what's happening right now with the state of the world is something that we have created as a collective. And the only way that we're going to get through it is as a collective, we understand the medicine that the earth is trying to teach us right now. And that's to be in this pause and be in this moment and really ask ourselves the deeper questions as a society of what is really functioning with us right now. Right now, for the first time, we're looking at, does our banking system really work for us? Does our education system really work for us? Do our mortgages really work for us? The loans, the interest rates, all of these major institutions right now are being questioned. And they would not be questioned if we kept going as they were. We have to take that pause. We have to take the Kapha break to really look within and have that magnifying lens of like, wow, this really isn't working for most of society. And then we, as sun workers, embodiments of the sun, people who are here to embody that sunlight energy, get to go into those shadows and say, now here is how we move forward. So really, I want to end this with an invitation for all of us listening right now to come to action with how we want the world to move forward. It's very easy for us to say, you know what, after this whole quarantine, everything's going to go back exactly the way it was. And the skies are going to get polluted again. The oceans are going to get polluted again. And, we humans are so dumb. I see a lot of people say that, and I do understand the concern. And nothing is going to change if we aren't the ones to change it. Right now, we are in that collective pause. So it's up to us as the sun workers, the healers, the channelers, the true beings who are dedicated to our spiritual path to go into our Vatas and imagine what this new world could look like. What could new connections look like? What could new community look like? What could new support look like? And from this place right now of going into our Vata and really thinking together of, we don't want to come out of this experience going exactly the way as it was. I think so many people are saying, let's just hurry up. Let's get this done. Go back to the way things were. No. We did not take a pause to go back to the way that things exactly were. We took a pause so we could reinvent a higher future. So this is our opportunity right now to ask ourselves, how do we want to invent a higher future? What systems are we here to change? What are we here to cause? Is it environmentalism? Is it our relationships with animals? Is it our relationship with consciousness, with our children, with our menstrual cycles? What are you being called to do? What is your soul mission on this planet? What has Earth assigned you with? Because I believe, which is part of the Vedic belief, that we all were born on this planet at this time for a reason. There is no coincidence that you are here. There is no coincidence that we, spiritual beings, all chose to incarnate at this specific time when this once in a lifetime history of human mankind situation has happened. Yes, there have been different pandemics before, but we never had the internet to know about it. For example, when a Spanish flu or something was going on, people in other parts of the world did not know about it. For the first time, we have this awareness that we are coming together as one. So now with this conversation that we are having of how can we support each other, how can we put our minds towards one solution, let's elevate that state. Instead of all of us experiencing the collective fear, let's raise that state up to collective acceptance. And then from there, let's raise it up even more to collective love. While we're all feeling the same thing, let's lift each other up with it. So this is your call to action right now. To be that sun worker that you incarnated to be. To share that message that is lodged in your throat chakra. What is coronavirus? Throat chakra. It's time for us to express. It's time for us to share our truth, share our medicine, to stop hiding, to stop feeling like we're not ready, we're not experienced enough, we're not educated enough, we're not old enough, young enough, fit enough. What is your story? Because it's time for you to realize that it's not based in the truth. It's time for you to realize that your desire to change is the only prerequisite that you need. Your realization is your invitation to take action. This is our moment right now. We are here to create the shift. So who's with me? Who's ready to co-create a better world that has ever existed before? Who's ready to, right after listening to this, go on your own live or call some friends or write in your journal or do something that takes this inspiration within you and brings it out into the world? As I share on my podcast, Highest Self Podcast, we are here right now to embody the energy of the sun. We are here to shine our sun rays all over the collective shadows of the world, so the world can experience unity and warmth. And guess what else? The sun is the antidote to what we are experiencing right now with this virus. The sun kills the virus. So us stepping into our inner suns and shining our lights brightly, unapologetically, not saying, well, over there, there's some issues, so I'm not going to shine my sunlight over there. No. Complete acceptance of everyone, knowing that no matter what state other people are in, it doesn't have to bring ours down. We are here to step into joy, especially in times that joy feels far away. This is why we practice. Everything we have done until this moment has been practice for today, for now. We don't meditate so we become good meditators. We meditate so we could sit in stillness at times like this. So who's with me? Yes, I am so excited to have all of your support as we raise the vibration of the planet together. I am doing daily Instagram lives. I'll put my Instagram right here. It's at I am Sahara Rose. Come join me. I also have a podcast, Highest Self Podcast. My book, Discover Your Dharma, which is all about this, is coming out in a couple months. And I'm just so honored and so privileged to be able to share here with you today. We'll also save this, post it up on my Instagram, and yes, share with your friends, share with your family, share with your community. This is our time right now. This is why we incarnated. This is our initiation. So let's take it, let's rock it, and let's make this world the place that we have been waiting for. Namaste. Thank you all. I hope you gained some wisdom from that episode. Again, my book, Discover Your Dharma, will be out in January. And as the book comes out, I will be sharing more and more pieces and little findings I have had in my, I wouldn't call it research. It's more channelings and downloads I have received in creating this book. And if you want to work with me deeper, if you'd like each month to be themed with a different goddess energy that we are working with in our lives for finding our purpose, plus my 10-day Discover Your Dharma meditations, workshops, all of the things, come join us in Rose Gold Goddesses. It is the sacred sisterhood collective for honoring your highest self and the goddess within. Each month we are working with a different goddess energy, and this month is about reemergence, stepping into spring, the spring of your life, and letting go of what is no longer serving you so you could really fine-tune who you want to step forward as in alignment with your Dharma. So if you're interested in learning more, head over to rosegoldgoddesses.com. Again, that is Rose Gold Goddesses, plural. The link is in the show notes, and I am so excited to meet you inside. If you loved this episode, I would love to send you a free gift, which is the first half of my unreleased book, Eat Right for Your Mind Body Type. This is a different book than Eat Feel Fresh, my first book ever, which is not released anywhere, and I am gifting it exclusively to those who leave a review of my podcast in the iTunes store. So all you got to do is head over to iTunes, where you may be listening to this podcast, and leave a review. Take a screenshot that you've left it and email it over to me at Sahara@eatfeelfresh.com. Again, that's Sahara, Sahara, at eatfeelfresh.com. And I will send you back the first half of my unreleased book, Eat Right for Your Mind Body Type, which goes all into Ayurveda, doshas, plant-based nutrition, body types, all of the things in a really fun and engaging way. So this is my gift to you for free for supporting the podcast. Every single review I personally read. It really helps the podcast be listened to by more people so we can raise the vibration of the planet together. And I am so grateful to have you on this journey. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you on the next episode. Namaste.